Hello everyone. I am filming Metatron's video today from our temple. I have created a nonprofit called the House of Metatron and Metisse. And this temple is our garage that we have converted. And what you see behind me are some devices that my husband has created. There's a very large amethyst that you can see inside of this one, and very small crystals going up the sides of the pyramid that it encloses, it, and another pyramid here that you can only see the top part of, that also has crystals, and they are all connected electrically and electronically. Those are things that I really don't understand a lot of. That's the specialty of my husband. You may also hear in the background a humming sound, a very high frequency sound. This is a signal generator and amplifier that is broadcasting 528 hertz, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the frequency of unconditional love. We have this amplifier going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is constantly on, constantly broadcasting this into the ground and into the atmosphere. Metatron, on the day when he consecrated this temple, established a very large etheric pyramid over the entire land. This is truly sacred space from which I am doing Metatron's message for today. We do not keep it heated during the winter, other than with a wood stove that we use occasionally. But now that the weather is getting nicer, I will be able to broadcast more of the videos from here. I love being in this space, and I hope you will enjoy it too, as I begin today's video. I am one with my I Am presence. And Holy Christ Self. My personalities, my body elemental, and my new spirit. All parts of my being are in balance, harmony, and alignment. And I pull in my aura, so I am fully contained within Metatron's cosmic egg. I am now ready for today's message. Greetings, beloveds. I am now speaking to you from one of my homes on this planet. H.O.M.E is the acronym for House of Metatron and Metisse. It is indeed a sacred space, as I have established my presence permanently here, as has my divine counterpart Metisse, and also the Lord Adama, High Priest of Telos. From the beginning, when we started working with Christmas some 3 years ago, we have been working with her as a Trinity. Metisse, Adama, and I, form a trinity of energies. And although one of us will come to the forefront and do the speaking for the group, we are always, the three of us, present at all times. When this temple was consecrated, we offered to establish a permanent presence within the temple itself, in addition to our permanent presence around Christmas and her husband. But they need to call us and to be aware of us in order to be able to perceive that presence. Whereas they do not have to ask for our presence to be established here. That is what we do. We have simply asked them to acknowledge our presence every time they walk into the temple. Sometimes they do this, sometimes they forget. But that does not affect in any way our permanent presence here. This place is intended to be a temple of healing and a place where the ascended masters and other light beings may come in their physical forms whenever it is appropriate for them to do so. There are other homes or sacred spaces established around the planet where other of my children will be receiving the great masters of light in their physical forms when they are prepared to do so. There were a couple of occasions in the past where ascended masters have wanted to appear to both Christmas and her husband. But both of them were anxious, shall we say, or a bit frightened. And Christmas was in fact embarrassed because she felt that her house was a mess and that she herself was a mess, and did not at that time want to receive the masters, who were literally standing outside her door. As we never wish to create any uncomfortable feelings, it was decided at that time that it would be better to wait for a future time. They are both now ready and are prepared and waiting for it to happen at any moment. I myself will not be incarnating, as I have said before. Neither will my divine counterpart. Adama is already in a physical form that has attained immortal status, as are all the beings of Telos and most of the beings of the inner earth. As far as your star brothers and sisters are concerned, it goes completely on an individual basis. Most of them are inhabiting multi-dimensional forms, which normally exist on a sixth dimensional level, sometimes fifth, and sometimes much higher. Some of them will lower the frequencies of their higher dimensional bodies in order for them to become more physical, for you to be able to perceive them and even touch them if they wish you to do so. But that is totally up to them. Some of them have physical forms that they have been maintaining for some time on the planet. And they can appear before you as well. So if you are desiring such visits, begin to invite them within your own mind. Begin to prepare yourself in whatever way you feel is necessary to welcome them into your homes. The home that Christmas and Jim live in is very small and has a very low ceiling, which is why Adama asked them to prepare this place in their garage, which has a very high ceiling, where he would be more comfortable in order for him to come in and be here physically. This is also true of most of the beings from the inner earth. So that is something you might want to take into consideration before you invite them into your homes. Is it a place where 7 or 9 feet tall beings would be comfortable? This is part of the separation of realities and the completion of timelines that I addressed recently. It is also a uniting of various realities. In order for these masters to appear before you, you must have raised your own frequency to a certain level that allows you to be comfortable in the very high frequencies of their presence. They will not be leaving their reality in order to come into yours. They will be bringing their reality with them and creating a very dynamic shift in the frequencies of the physical space that you are in, and a shift in the frequencies of your physical body. That is why there has been much preparation and much waiting for this externalization of the spiritual hierarchy to occur. There are also many on the planet, and you may be among them, who have been ascended masters in other times or on other timelines. If that is the case, you were born on this planet with a veil, as are all human beings. But I'm referring now to a very particular veil, which kept you from being aware of who you are. And you have perhaps incarnated in many different time periods and ascended different bodies. Some of you may have ascended 7 different bodies that correspond to the 7 major sins. And that is, you experience those sins, as they are called, such as greed, from a human perspective, and worked it out from the human perspective and attained enlightenment or ascension in that particular lifetime. And then in another lifetime, you would experience another one, such as lust, and you would overcome it, transmute it, and ascend through that frequency. Some of you have ascended in a male body and in a female body. So you may have noticed, while you are going through your ascension process this time, that you have never had any doubts. When you have heard about the ascension process, you knew that it was true. This is where the wisdom that you developed in the past was allowed to come through. Without your understanding why or how you knew these things to be true, you simply knew that they were. Those of you who have been ascended in the past will find this ascension not necessarily quicker, but certainly easier. And you will be among the first ones to receive these visits, even without having attained your full ascension as of yet. We are monitoring the ascension process of the earth and of every single human being on this planet. We wish it to be the most joyful, glorious experience possible. That is why we have waited for so long, and to make sure that all of the conditions were absolutely perfect in order for these events to occur. So prepare yourselves, beloveds, for the roller coaster ride of a lifetime. You will continue to experience highs and lows for some time yet. But the ride is going to become more exhilarating every day, especially as you open to the love and to the joy that is the absolute fundamental basis of the ascension process. The more that you can focus on the love and the joy of your ascension, the more you will experience it. The more you will radiate it. And the more you will be able to influence and assist the ascension of all of those around you. You are indeed my dearly beloveds, and I rejoice in your approaching ascension. I rejoice in your awakening and your meeting with your space brothers and sisters, with your, as these 3 great and magnificent civilizations come together, your planet will undergo a transformation that will be so rapid it will have your heads spinning. It will not take 100 years to purify the earth, beloved, of all of the pollution and the harm that has been done to her. It will be so much quicker as your inner earth and star brethren bring forth the technologies that they have had for millennia, and they will assist you. That is why these contacts need to occur first, so that those of you who are aware of your inner earth and star brethren will be able to assist in getting their knowledge out to those of your earth brothers and sisters who still doubt or fear their existence. This is a great and wondrous time, beloveds. So let us all go forth with love in our hearts, with a constant awareness of our divinity. Connect with your I Am presence. Connect with the Holy Trinity that I am with Metisse and Adama. For I offer that same Trinity of power to each and every one of you. Ask us to be present when you do your meditations, and we will be there instantly assisting you. And you will feel our presence because it is very, very powerful. I thank you for listening to these videos. I love you and I bless you. And I thank you on behalf of Metisse and Adama, as we have brought this video to you as a trinity of our energies. I am